This is steak frites. Now, it is a classic French bistro dish, but in my mind, it is steak and French fries, two of my favorite things. In this video, we're gonna go back to the source. Not only am I gonna show you how to make perfect French fries and do a perfect steak, I'm also gonna show you where it comes from. We're gonna go back and cut it from a whole New York strip. So first, we're gonna do the whole recipe because I'm really hungry, it's lunchtime. And we are gonna go back and do the entire New York strip later. So I'm gonna show you how to break it all down. So if you like the recipes, great. If you like the breakdowns, great. If you like both, you and I are best friends. So this recipe comes out of my new cookbook called Primal Cuts, which comes out November 11th. But I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that later. For now, we got lots to do, so let's get to it. All right, to start, we're going to use Idaho Rust potatoes. They have the perfect starch content and are the perfect potato for making French fries. Here is a cool trick. So what I do is I put some saran wrap down on my board, and then I will go ahead and peel the potatoes, and it'll go onto the saran wrap. After I'm done, fold it up, throw it in the trash, and it's super easy cleanup. Next, we're going to cut it into about 1/4-inch matchsticks and using a mandolin slicer. Be careful, it's dangerous. Where's that guard anyway? I really need to find that thing. I'm going to go and put it into cold water, rinsing off the starch from the outside, but I'm going to explain a little more about that later. If you don't have a mandolin, you can also use a knife. Old-fashioned way here. Just make sure that all the matchsticks are about roughly the same size so they cook at the same rate. Now we go ahead and put them in the water so that it rinses off the starch from the outside. That way the fries do not get too brown on the outside before they're cooked on the inside. You're then going to transfer them to a paper towel lined baking sheet and make sure they're super dry, because remember, hot oil and water are not friends and they do not like each other. So please be careful with that. Today we're using beef tallow, of course, right? If you don't have beef tallow, you can use vegetable oil, but beef tallow is going to give it that big beefy flavor for the French fries that we really, really want. And I think they get a little crispier on the outside also. You're going to heat your oil to 325 degrees, and then we're going to cook these potatoes for about 4 minutes. Again, we're just trying to get them barely cooked on the inside before we turn up the heat and crisp them up on the outside. After they're done with this part of the cooking, we're going to put them on a sheet tray, and we're going to hold it aside to where our steak is almost ready, and then we will go ahead and complete the cook on the French fries. Again, this two-stage cooking method is going to allow us to get a perfectly cooked French fry where it's soft in the middle and crispy on the outside, which is what a good French fry is. Now we move on to the steak. This is a whole strip loin. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and cut one steak off of this strip loin, and later I'm going to show you how to cut the entire thing. But for right now, one steak, we're going to cut it, we're going to trim it, and let's get it cooked. Remember, a New York strip is best known for that fat cap that's on the top. We're looking for between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, but you want that, leave some of that fat on the top because it's going to help season that steak. From here, we're going to brush it with a little bit of our beef tallow and season with salt and pepper. I like to use a kosher salt for this because it's going to give it a little bit more crispy crunch on the outside. Make sure you season the fat cap, all the sides of the steak, so everything gets nice and seasoned. In a hot cast iron skillet, we are going to sear that fat cap first. A couple of minutes, just let that fat cap render a little bit. It's going to make sure that fat stays a little bit crispier. And then we're going to go ahead and sear on both sides so you get a nice hard sear on each side. We're going to finish that off in the oven. Once it reaches your desired temperature, you are going to pull it out and let it rest for 5 minutes. Put a couple of pats of butter on there while it rests, and it's going to be perfect. While our steak is resting, we're going to increase that heat to 375 degrees, and you're going to fry your French fries. Make sure and pull them out when they're nice and golden brown and crispy and delicious. It probably takes about another 2 minutes to make sure they are crispy. Once they're done, you're going to transfer them into a stainless steel bowl, and we're going to season with a fine salt. So I like to use good old-fashioned iodized salt for this. This is probably one of the only preparations that I really like to use iodized salt because it's so fine. Again, you can add a little bit of truffle oil. That'd give you a couple bonus points, but it's all up to you. But make sure that's super seasoned, salty, and ready to go. And there we have our steak frites. I feel like we're in France already. Here we go. All right, are you enjoying this recipe? Because this recipe is in my new book called Primal Cuts. In fact, I don't have a copy yet, but I'm gonna put one right here. Go. Ding. All right, so it comes out November 11th. And it's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the places. All the links are in the description. Find the place that you like to buy books and go ahead and pre-order it. So I need some help from y'all. I talked to my publisher and they said it was going to be really hard for me to get into Costco with this book. Now, you all know if you've watched this channel for any length of time how much I love Costco. I go every week. It is like my place. It's my home. I love it. I know where everything is. Anyway, it is insane to me that we can't put this book into a Costco and say, look, you can take this book, buy a whole ribeye and make all these recipes out of, and guess what? The ribeye is over there in that section. So I need your help. We need to do a groundswell effort to try to get these pre-orders up so that I can get this book into Costco and into everyone's hands, and it would just be a super thrill for me. Anyway, this book took me over a year to make, and it's structured a little differently than regular cookbooks. Instead of having your regular like breakfast, lunch, dinner, or sides, apps, entrees, mine is broken down into the 9 primal cuts. So in one chapter, we'll focus on the chuck and all the ways you can break down the chuck at home. And then we'll take those cuts of meat and make recipes for those cuts of meat. And I go through all the primal cuts. So I have little stories about my past and about my anecdotes from restaurants or hotels or butcher shops. So it's got so much information. It is me in a book, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So again, if you want to see this book in Costco, I need you to go pre-order 5 of them, 10 of them, 20 of them. Do all of your Christmas shopping for all those people that you have no idea what to get for. You need to buy this book for them. Please, please, please. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the recipe and the New York strip breakdown. All right, so we did it. This is our entire recipe here for steak frites. Let's cut it open. Let's see what it looks like. Let's taste it. I mean, it's been seared in beef tallow, and I'm really excited to go ahead and get a hold of this thing. Beautiful looking medium there. It is a delicious New York strip. Of course, what can go wrong? But here is the pièce de résistance. Is that French? I don't know. The French fries fried in beef tallow. Crunchy, delicious. Threw in a little bit of truffle oil. That's like a bonus point if you throw in a little bit of truffle oil. A little bit goes a long way. But this is so, so good. All right, next we're gonna go back and do the New York strip breakdown. So we started with the recipe, again, because I want some lunch first, but then we're gonna go back and do the New York strip breakdown. So I'm gonna show you how to break down the entire thing by yourself at home. It's super easy and it'll save you a ton of money. So stay with me for that. Again, the Primal Cuts Cookbook, it has all these things. It has the breakdowns and the recipes together. So let's go to the New York strip breakdown. All right, so this is our whole strip loin. So you can go ahead and get these at Costco. If you don't see them out there with the rest of the meat, go ahead and knock on the window, ask them. They will be able to provide you with a whole strip loin. You can also find them at Sam's, the Chef's Store, and various other places that cut their own meat. If you Walmart and stuff like that, they don't cut their own meat anymore, so they're not gonna have those, but the rest of them probably will. So you can go ahead and ask them and then hopefully get a price break on it. But even if you don't get a price break on it, it's still a better value because you can customize the cuts. So we can say how thick we want them, how thin we want them. And there's lots of other things we can do with this strip loin. It's a great piece of meat. So it's one of my favorites. The New York strip is like my go-to steak cut. So what we're gonna do first is look at the two ends. So the strip loin is part of the short loin. So in the short loin, you have your strip loin and then you have your tenderloin. Short loin sits between the sirloin and the rib. So you can tell each side of the strip loin has those different characteristics. The rib end almost looks like the end of the ribeye. So when you cut the end of the ribeye, you can start to see that swirl of fat go away and dissipate. This is where it picks up. So this is where you're gonna see more of that leanness end and that good fat cap. On the sirloin end, you're gonna see this round circle of top sirloin meat. It kind of sticks into the striploin, so that's how you can determine if that is the sirloin end. So I like to start from the rib end and then work my way back this way, and it's very, very simple. All we're gonna do is cut our steaks to the thickness that we want. You want 1.25 inches, go for it. 1.5 inches, go for it. I do not pre-trim the whole New York strips, and I usually don't teach people to do that because if you're really experienced, you can trim this whole thing down and know exactly what that fat cap looks like, but I like to trim each individual steak so that you can have complete control over the individual steak and that fat cap on there. I'm gonna show you what I mean here in a second. So we're gonna take our 10-inch breaking knife. You need a nice long knife so that you can get all the way through this entire piece of meat in one stroke so you don't have to saw. We don't wanna saw, have saw marks in our steaks. Nice and easy. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna take your knife, you're gonna raise your elbow, and that's gonna put this tip down, and then you're gonna start going down, okay? And then you're gonna pull back this way, kicking that elbow back up. And that is our New York strip, okay? This is a pretty big boy right here. So maybe I'll cut him a little thinner next time, but we're gonna come back to that and trim each steak. So we're gonna go a little thinner this time. We're gonna lift our elbow up so we can get down into the fat cap here, and then come back and then slide your knife back. Nice. You'd like to have one nice fluid motion so that you don't have a lot of sawing marks. But there is our beautiful New York strip. It's super easy. This is super easy. It's not difficult at all. And you're gonna save some money. I know, like when I go to my local grocery store, Publix, they're $4, $5, $6 a pound more than buying a whole strip loin. So, check in your local area because meat prices vary across the country, but this is a good way to save some money, especially in these times where you go one day and steaks cost one price and you go the next day and they're up like 20%. Like what happened? I was just here yesterday, but who knows? We can't control the prices of beef, but we can control the beef that we do buy so we can get the best value. If you're still on this video, you're definitely my kind of people. You went for the recipe, you stayed for the butchery, and now you're ready to learn how to save even more money. So we can be friends. I want to personally invite you to the Primal Cuts Club. It is my private members-only community in which I go over all the different primal cuts and show you how to break them down and save a ton of money. We also have live Q&A calls where you can ask me a question personally. I can bring you up on a virtual stage and we can talk one-on-one. There's also a community forum in which you can participate and answer other people's questions or have me answer them, or we can do all kinds of cool stuff, and I want to see the pictures of your latest butchery projects there. So please come join me in the Primal Cuts Club. It's been one of the more fun things I've done since I started this YouTube channel. I love getting to know the people in there, and I want to get to know you. So you're next. Go ahead and sign up. Click the QR code or the link down below, and I can't wait to see you in there. One more thing with the Primal Cuts Club is I am going to offer you a free gift. If you sign up right now, I am going to give you a 10-inch breaking knife. Not this one, because I need to wash it, but I have brand new ones. It comes in a box like this. I will ship it to you when you join, and it's got a nice carrying case, so you can keep it in here and keep it all nice and safe. And I'm so committed to making sure that you do these projects that I want to get you the proper tools to start out with. So you join the club, you get a breaking knife. This is a limited time offer. Please join, do the QR code or the link in the description, and I will send you out one of these knives. It is a limited time offer, so if you don't see that QR code anymore, then it went away. So let's get back to breaking down this New York strip. Another cool thing you can do is make a strip roast. I have a great video on that on my channel, which I'll put a link in the description. So it's a kind of an alternative prime rib. So you basically take a piece of your strip loin, you can tie it up and roast it just like a prime rib. It's a little bit leaner, so for those of you who don't like all that, the fat, the intermuscular fat of a ribeye, you can make a strip roast instead. So give that a thought. All right, so now we're gonna come back through and I'm gonna show you how, now we're gonna go back through and I'm gonna show you how to trim these things. So you got your, I'll kind of do it upside down, but you have your New York strip. And the great thing about the New York strip is that fat cap, that 1/4 inch fat cap on the top. That's its kind of characteristic. That's its thing. So we want to keep this fat cap right here on. So what we're going to do though is kind of shape it up so it looks good. So, and that's the butcher in me. If you don't care how it looks and you like all the fat, you want to keep all the fat on there, go for it. This is up to you. One of the best things about doing this yourself is that you can customize this however you want. So you can keep all the fat on there, you can take it all off, you can do whatever you want. So that's the great thing about this. So we're just gonna come around and just trim up this fat cap so that it is about 1/4 inch. Again, you can keep it as thick or thin as you want it. All this trim, guess where it's going? It's not going in the trash. It's going into our meat grinder. So it's either going to go to ground beef, or we're going to take these, pieces that are just hard fat and make beef tallow out of. I got videos for both of those things on my channel, so check it out. Now, in the front here, there's this little piece of connective tissue. You can see it. It's like it's opaque. It's like it's almost cellophane looking like. So we want to go ahead and take that out because that's going to be that chewy piece. You ever been in the steakhouse and had a New York strip and you have that piece you can't chew? You're just chewing all day. It's not going anywhere. It's more than likely this little piece of connective tissue on the top. So we're going to go ahead and take that out. But it still keeps this nice fat cap right along the top. We just want that chewy piece. It's gonna make especially if you're having guests over, you don't want people spitting pieces of, connective tissue in their napkins. I'm sorry, that was super gross. For all of you who are eating right now, I'm sorry. But here we go. There's our nice trimmed New York strip steak. I'm gonna go ahead and trim the rest of these and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. All right, so we got 15 New York strips and we got some fat and meat to grind. Man, this has been a great cut and cook episode today. Thank you for coming with us. We will see you on the next one. Don't forget to check all the links in the description. Thanks.